Behind the magnificent gates of Buckingham Palace, amidst the gold, jewels, and ancient walls that have stood witness to centuries of royal history, a quiet storm is brewing, one that has the potential to change the course of the British monarchy forever. The regal veneer of tradition, power, and duty is now beginning to crack, and what lies beneath is a web of tensions, rivalries, and power struggles that threaten the very foundation of the royal institution. To the public, the royal family may appear as an unshakable, well-oiled machine, a beacon of tradition, unity, and stability. But inside the palace walls, the cracks are becoming ever more apparent. And at the center of this brewing crisis stands none other than the seemingly innocent and beloved Princess Charlotte. Known to the world for her grace, elegance, and poise, the young princess has unwittingly become the figurehead of a growing power struggle, one that threatens to overshadow the long-established traditions of the British royal family. For years, Queen Camilla has fought tooth and nail to secure her place in the royal family. Once the subject of scandal, vilified by the public, and an outsider to the royal court, Camilla has worked tirelessly to establish herself as the queen consort of King Charles III. Her journey has been long, filled with public scrutiny and painful moments of doubt. But over time, she carved out a role for herself within the monarchy, a role that she was determined to protect at all costs. Her relationship with King Charles was hard-won, and she believed that, after years of waiting, she had finally earned her place by his side. Little did she know, however, that this hard-earned position would soon be challenged by a younger and more unexpected rival, Princess Charlotte. The coronation of King Charles III, a once-in-a-lifetime event that had been centuries in the making, was meant to be a moment of celebration, a powerful symbol of continuity, history, and the unbroken tradition of the British monarchy. As the royal family gathered in Westminster Abbey, all eyes were on them, watching the grand ceremony unfold with awe and admiration. The world watched as the king was crowned, as the anthems played, and as the centuries-old traditions were followed to the letter. But for those who knew the royal family's inner workings, the coronation was more than just a ceremonial event. It was the stage for a quiet yet deeply significant shift within the monarchy itself, a shift that would soon make headlines and reverberate through the annals of royal history. The royal family's seating arrangement was carefully considered, as every detail of the ceremony was meticulously planned. Queen Camilla, the queen consort, sat near Princess Charlotte and her mother, Princess Katherine. At first glance, the scene appeared as a perfect picture of royal harmony, 3 generations of women from the royal family, united in their roles. But what the casual observer might not have noticed was the subtle tension simmering beneath the surface. Camilla, who had fought so hard for her place in the royal family, found herself faced with an unexpected challenge, one that had been building for years, but had only just begun to surface. When the royal family knelt before King Charles during the coronation, a seemingly insignificant moment passed by unnoticed by most. But for those with an ear for the intricacies of royal dynamics, this moment was far from ordinary. Princess Charlotte, the youngest member of the royal family, did something unexpected, something that caught the attention of those who were paying close attention. As the rest of the family bowed before the new king, Charlotte, who had always been known for her impeccable manners and royal etiquette, hesitated. It was a brief pause, a mere second, but in that second, the world seemed to stand still. The young princess, instead of immediately following the protocol that had been established for centuries, took a small but significant step back. Her eyes flickered toward her mother, Princess Katherine, as though silently seeking permission to act in a way that had never been seen before. It was subtle, almost imperceptible to anyone not looking closely, but for those who understood the depths of royal tradition, it was an extraordinary moment. This was no simple act of youthful defiance. It was a calculated move, a quiet assertion of power that spoke volumes about Princess Charlotte's growing sense of independence. It was a statement to the world, to the royal family, and perhaps most of all, to Queen Camilla. In that brief moment, Charlotte had signaled that she was not merely an observer of history, she was a participant in its creation. She was staking her claim to the throne, not through grand gestures or loud proclamations, but through quiet determination and subtle acts of defiance. And then came the murmur, the faintest of whispers, barely audible, but in the context of the moment, it was seismic. Charlotte, in that moment, had made her own quiet declaration, challenging not only the established norms of royal protocol, but also the very future of the monarchy itself. For a young girl of her age, such an act was unprecedented. Princess Charlotte had just made her first true statement of independence, and it was not lost on those closest to the royal family. As the whispers spread through the royal court, the significance of Charlotte's gesture became clear. She was no longer content to follow in the footsteps of her predecessors. She was no longer simply the beloved daughter of Prince William and Princess Katherine. Charlotte was beginning to carve out her own space within the monarchy, and this moment was only the beginning. The tension between Camilla and Charlotte, however, was not just confined to a single event. It was a simmering undercurrent that had been building for years, as the younger generation of royals began to emerge as the true future of the monarchy. Camilla, for all her efforts, was still viewed by some as an outsider, someone who had not been born into the royal family and had to fight her way into the position she now held. Her relationship with King Charles, while strong, was often overshadowed by the legacy of his first wife, Princess Diana. In contrast, Princess Katherine, the mother of Charlotte, had long been embraced by the British public, and her children, especially Charlotte, had quickly become the faces of the monarchy's future. The rivalry between Camilla and Charlotte, while not overt, had been growing for some time. Camilla, ever aware of her fragile position, could not help but feel a sense of resentment toward the rising star of the royal family. Charlotte, though young, had already begun to capture the public's imagination in ways that Camilla could only dream of. The royal family, once an unshakable institution, was now facing an existential challenge. Who would define its future? As the drama unfolds, the relationship between Camilla and Princess Katherine also begins to show signs of strain. Both women are strong, assertive personalities, but their visions for the future of the monarchy appear to be in direct conflict. While Camilla has spent years working to solidify her own position, Katherine has been focused on preparing her children, especially Charlotte, for their future roles. This generational divide has created a palpable tension within the royal court, and it is one that is unlikely to subside anytime soon. Charlotte, for her part, seems to be oblivious to the growing drama. Her quiet gestures of defiance, her moments of independence, may appear innocent to the public, but they are anything but. The young princess is already aware of the power dynamics at play, and she is learning how to navigate them with the kind of composure that is often reserved for seasoned royals. She is, in essence, preparing herself for a future that is still far off, but increasingly within reach. In the coming years, as Princess Charlotte matures and her role within the royal family becomes clearer, the tension between her and Queen Camilla is only likely to intensify. The battle for the future of the monarchy will not be fought on the grand stages of royal ceremonies, but in the quiet, subtle moments of royal protocol and tradition. And when it is finally decided who will shape the future of the British monarchy, it is certain that the world will be watching every move, every gesture, and every whisper as these two powerful women face off in a battle that will determine the fate of the crown.